Alright, bro, what's good with y'all niggas, bro? We got my twin, bro. You got Cjax in there, bit. Damn, why the fuck this shit? But anyway, though, shout out to Cjax, my nigga. Um, damn, what was that shit? Was it yesterday? Yeah, Monday Night Raw. That shit was yesterday. I react to that shit. That shit on my TikTok, so y'all niggas gotta goddamn go crazy on that bit. But I was reacting to that shit on there, cause they won't allow that shit on YouTube, my nigga. I don't know why, but that's what I'm gonna start doing. Like, well, I've really been doing that shit. Like, I post all my clips on there. So y'all niggas goddamn go to that and get to this video time. I know that nigga about to rage hard as hell.
Garbage episode of Monday Night Raw. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, ladies and gents, we have to just acknowledge that every single week Raw sucks. There's no reason to overblow it at this point. This probably won't be one of the longer reviews because the same stuff continues to happen. I mean, what else can possibly be said about this garbage product? The average Raw episode this year is one of the worst Raws of all time. It's gotten that bad. How many times this year have I said that SmackDown or Raw is one of the worst of all time? It happens every single week. It's over at this point, man. The product is dead. There's no intrigue. There's no interest. Raw and SmackDown. Raw is getting record low viewership on Netflix, and SmackDown's getting record low viewership on USA Network and just in general. They had the lowest SmackDown viewership rating of all time a few weeks ago, and then followed it up with an even lower one. So it's over, man. It just is, okay? We have to start understanding what it is. This company, they're likely just going to sell it off to some other corporation in a couple of years once they've milked every penny dry from the bot fans, you know what I'm saying, that are showing up and eating for 50 minutes talking about some one more time. How about we get another rematch? Because that's all Raw and SmackDown are rematches. It is rematches and rehashes and redos of the same stories, the same segments, the same matches that we've seen every single time. In the wise words of Romano Reigns, it's the same thing every single night. It's the same thing. The shows are garbage, and it's unacceptable at this point. Triple Fraud hopefully will eventually be fired and will let himself go because he already has let himself go in terms of doing his job. It's over. When you watch these shows week to week and you just think about back then, because here's the problem, right? If you watch other eras of wrestling, you understand how unacceptable this product is. Because even in the 2010s, even though they didn't have their next John Cena yet, you know, they had Roman, but he wasn't the level he is like now that he's been for the last like 4 or 5 years or obviously whatnot, right? They didn't have that yet. But at least they still had all of their upper carders and mid carders as long as they were healthy. They were appearing every week on the shows, sometimes on both shows each week. And on top of that, they would at least wrestle 2 to 3 matches a month on average. On average. Now, you're getting people who are in their early 40s and late 30s who are logging up the shows, and they're not doing anything with their time. It's unacceptable. Cody Rhodes, that went on an absolute tirade on this jobber's title reign last week on SmackDown because of how bad it's been at this point. It's unacceptable how bad Cody Rhodes is. It just is. He is the WWE champion. They had him beat a guy who was champion for over 4 years, and they had him beat.
Damn, he should have really kept this. The damn, he should have kept that shit, bro. He should have just kept the goddamn. But like, I was like watching during this time, but niggas really wanted Cody to win that shit. Like, that shit was the dumbest thing ever. Not. See what we got now? Pure trash, my nigga.
That guy, just to follow it up with him having one of the worst WWE championship reigns of all time where he barely defended his championship. I think he had like 9 or 10 defenses in nearly 400 days. Then he gets the belt back, and he's had like 2 matches in 3 months.
Whoa, you hear that, chat? What?
Oh yeah, and this nigga Triple H retarded. But this nigga talking about don't have the stars show up like every show because it's gonna ruin the order. Like, nigga, you fucking serious, my nigga? Man. This man talking about order and shit. Like, gang, you old it fuck. And bro, that's not gonna work for shit like this. Like, you gonna need these niggas, bro. Like, bro, y'all remember when goddamn, like, these niggas used to fight on the regular shows, man. Like, I'm talking about for the champion, like, for all that shit, man.
Like it's over.
When was the last time this nigga went against like fucking Carmelo Hayes or some shit? Or what that one nigga? Or like Penta or something, like you feel me? Like that nigga got some shit. Like Penta's shitty, but like switch that shit up to him. Like,
He's done no matches. He's had no memorable promo, storytelling, or feuds at all over the last year and a half, unless you want to include Cena in there. But the problem is with the Cena thing is that it was mainly carried by the fact that it's Cena's final run. You know what I mean? Like Cody has done nothing to elevate himself over the last year and a half. He's done nothing since winning that belt at Mania 40. We have to call it what it is. He sucks. That's why him and Seth were on the show, and that's when they got their record low Raw and viewership.
yeah, Seth Rollins, he not really a draw, bro. Like people think, man. Like he ain't no mainstream. Like you feel me? Y'all know how like back then he used to be like, but niggas like knew everybody, bro. Batista, Undertaker, like all them niggas, Rey Mysterio. Like now, it ain't really like no niggas like that, twin. Like no versatility, twin. Like y'all know like Jeff Hardy and shit, like the cool nigga. Like y'all know him as like the nigga jumping off shit. You know what I'm saying? The cool nigga and shit. But, like I'm not saying it ain't gonna, cause it ain't gonna never be no Jeff Hardy twin. But what a cool nigga at, like you feel me? Like they don't got like different type of characters on that. It's like all these niggas the same twin.
Netflix. Cody Rhodes is one of the worst champions of all time. Triple H is one of the worst creative bookers of all time. He's not creative, he's one of the worst bookers of all time.
Like I ain't gonna lie, if I was a booker, like that nigga Randy Orton, he'll be like, he probably had a championship by now, twin. Like right now, my nigga.
Seth Rollins is garbage as champion because of the way he was being booked. It was a terrible. It was the division was terrible. He was.
And back then they used to have like they used to just lose that shit. Like now, like when they be losing, it's like we be knowing when they gonna lose that whole, like, you feel me?
Terrible as champion. He wasn't doing anything of note that anyone was interested in, and that's just what it was. Unfortunately, he's injured now, but it is what it is. Rhea Ripley, she broke her face. Hopefully, she heals up soon and gets healthy. But even with a broken nose, okay, why can she not just show up on the show at least? At least come out there and cut a promo or tell a story. But that's right, she can't tell stories because under this current booking regime, all that Triple H has Rhea Ripley do is come out, say, "I'm gonna take my title, I never lost, yeah," and then all of a sudden she disappears and does no match.
Yeah, but this nigga been saying this shit since 2024. Like that's how you know this shit ain't changed, bro. Cause she really be doing that shit, twin. To this day, twin.
It's unacceptable, man. These are your top stars. Bianca Belair, she's still injured, unfortunately. Io Sky, she's completely healthy. Haven't seen her in, what, 3 weeks now at this point? Stephanie Vaquer is the women's world champion of the show, and all she's relegated.
But she shouldn't be champ, though, bro. I mean, well, now she acceptable, twin. But, like, they fucked up on Jade, bro. Like, she supposed to been turned heel, twin. Like, she really supposed to be the champ, twin. You know, like that's what I would prefer. To. I don't watch that part though.
Little brawl segment after
this shit trash, man.
Nikki Bella's match, and she stands off with Raquel Rodriguez and walks away. Your women's world champion is on the show for 30 seconds and does nothing. That's how these people are utilized.
This nigga looking old as hell. He's like, bro, remove this shit, bro. Just go bald, my nigga. You're like, whoa. Like, this shit look terrible, nigga.
Reigns is on break. CM Punk and Jey Uso come out and cut an absolute stink bomb in a promo. The promo was awful on both sides. No one had anything to say, and it was not.
Nah, real shit. I was watching this whole, like, this nigga CM Punk saying the same shit over and over.
Interesting or engaging at all, and it didn't get us any more invested. And we already weren't invested at all in this Punk AJ match, and now I'm arguably even less invested than I already was. It's that bad. Gunther's not even there. He doesn't bring anything to these shows anyways, but he's not even there. And then we get LA Knight. He has potential, but he's doing rematches with Braun Breaker for the 15th time. How many times is Juanito Breaker going to fight LA Knight, man? How many times? So I've had enough. We're going to run through these segments because nothing has happened. It's the same show every week, just repackaged and repurposed, and that's why I haven't watched an entirety of a Raw or SmackDown in like 10 months. And we haven't had a good Raw or SmackDown episode, it feels like, since like 1874. It's over. Anyways, let's get into the show. Jey Uso starts off the show and basically says this is exactly how the promo went. He says, you know what, lately, Uso, I got a lot of people in my ear. My mama in my ear, Roman in my ear, Jimmy in my ear, y'all in my ear, I'm in my ear, I'm a jobber. You know what I'm saying? That's what Jey Uso says. He then follows it up with by saying, I don't care though, because I'm a win. 4 letters, 1 word, yeet. What is that promo? What is that promo? Can someone explain to me
Oh God, I was like, bro, this it, man. All right.
what that was? Then CM Punk comes out, and guess what he tells guess what he tells Jey Uso, guys? He says, Jay, I have a lot of respect for you, Jay. I'm proud of you, Jay. But how far are you willing to go?
He said that part like 3 times, twin. They're passed out, my name.
Now, I'm not talking to Baby Roman. I'm not talking to Jimmy Uso's brother. I'm talking to main event Jey Uso. How far are you willing to go? Jay then responds with, screw you, Punk. You're trying to make me the villain, even though Punk just said he's proud of him, so it makes no sense. How is Punk trying to villainize him? But anyway, it doesn't matter. He says that Jey Uso says, oh, what's called, screw you, Punk. You're trying to make me the villain, but I'm going to show you who the best in the world is. 4 letters, 1 word, yeet. Promo ends. That is your opening segment. That is the 2 dudes vying for a world championship. They're both over 40. They're both, at this point, have no concurrent storylines that anyone cares about. And on top of that,
this shit fried, bro.
Nobody wants to see this match. Like nobody wants to. From an in-ring perspective, this match might end up being a disaster. Like I wouldn't be surprised if this is like a 5 out of 10 match at best. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. This show is just this segment is just so bad. You couldn't do anything more creative or interesting than this. You just have Jey Uso go out and say 4 letters, 1 word, yeet. Punk says, how far are you willing to go, yeet. Punk even does the one more time thing that Jay does when he comes out with
that part was funny.
Jey Uso starts off the show and basically said,
shit. That part was funny though when he did that.
It's like, one more time.
That shit was funny, bro.
Punk even does that with his theme song. Like, this is a gag. It's a joke. In the backstage segment later, Jimmy Uso's like,
that part was funny though, bro.
Man, Jay, if you really thought you could beat me, you wouldn't have needed to eliminate me. You could have just fought me one-on-one like brothers. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And Jay's like trying not to laugh while Jimmy's talking because he knows it's a joke. This is a comedy act. Raw's like,
I thought I was tripping, bro.
Yeah, bro, it's garbage. Then we had a next thing. It was a rematch, a garbage rematch to gain a rematch. Penta and Rusev are fighting for
I skipped this shit.
one contendership of the IC title because they're the same people who have been fighting for it all year. It's the same thing. How many times has Penta either fought for an IC title or a #1 contenders for an IC
No, God.
title? Everything is the #1 contenders. The chicken tenders, the Popeyes tenders, the Wendy's tenders.
Shit looking hit. Oh, I'm tripping.
The McDonald's tenders, the Burger King tenders. I don't even think they have tenders, but maybe the Chick-fil-A tenders then. The chicken tenders. Tender. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just chicken tenders all over the place, man. You get a tender. You get a tender. I'm a contender. You're a contender. No. You don't just get given contenders matches because you feel like it. This is jobbery. Why are we getting the same dudes fighting for the same stuff? Rusev and Penta are fighting to see who can fight Dom. Dom has already fought Rusev 2 or 3 times. He won all those matches. What's his name? Penta has already fought Dom, 4 or 5 times this year? Maybe more than that. And if he wins this match, he gets a 6th match. If Rusev won, he gets a 3rd or a 4th. And now they're going to do a triple threat, a very predictable triple threat. You knew when this match was announced it was going to end in a DQ somehow.
The worst.
And then we're going to have Dominic fight Rusev and Penta in a triple threat at Saturday night's main event, and Dominic's just going to end up retaining anyways. So all this is pointless. They waste 20 to 30 minutes of the show each week on this garbage. It's stupid, man. You're doing a garbage rematch to gain a rematch that you already know the outcome to. This is the booking that we're getting. It's unacceptable. We can move on because the Grande Lattes, Americano, Starbucks, Grande Venti Latte, Ariana Grande Latte, they come out there and they beat up Rusev and Penta. Rusev and Penta then stand off and act like they're going to go after the Grande Trio or whatever they're called now. And I guess Rusev is a face. Is he a heel? No one reacts. I don't know. I don't care. Cero miedo. Cero cares. Now we move on. LA Knight and Braun Breaker. They had a match. Nobody cares. This is the 15 millionth time we've seen this match. We have seen the collection of Jay, Braun, and LA Knight now. Well, LA Knight and Braun Breaker and Jay, we've seen the collection of this for at least 3 or 4 straight months. So at this point, I don't even know how many times we've seen it, but it's the same thing. Braun Breaker pins LA Knight because LA Knight is a jobber and his career is over. He's not winning an IC title. He's not.
Nah, that shit over again. That nigga 44 times.
Not winning a.
That shit.
World title. The ship is passed, and Triple H does not care, and he probably doesn't even like LA Knight real talk behind the scenes. That's the only reason I can have for why this guy's booked this jobberish. I just don't understand
That shit obvious too, twin.
it anymore.
No, they got smoked.
Braun Breaker took a nasty bump on his head during this match, and unfortunately, what's it called? What's it called? He was, I think he's okay at least, but unfortunately, he did hit his head. I hope he's fine. I mean, I don't know. He was grabbing the back of it. Hopefully, he's fine, but we'll see what happens with that. LA Knight got jobbed out. Braun Breaker wins. This accomplishes absolutely nothing. Nobody cares. Nikki Bella then fights Roxy. Nobody cares. Then we move on. We get Stephanie Vaquer comes out at the end of the match. Stephanie Vaquer basically comes out to stand off against Raquel and make sure that Nikki Bella is okay, and she has a stare off with Roxy and Raquel Rodriguez. I don't know why I'm calling Roxanne Perez Roxy. It's just a lot easier saying it that way, you know what I'm saying, than Roxanne Perez. I'm just going to start calling Roxanne Perez Roxy, you know? She's a jobber anyway. She's been pinned like 50 times this year. So Roxy actually ends up getting a double for Nikki Bella. Stephanie Vaquer and Nikki Bella stand tall and, look back at Roxanne and or Roxy or Roxanne, whatever. It's just, I don't even know what to call these jobbers anymore. And then Raquel, she basically is just chilling out there, you know what I'm saying, with Roxanne, has a face-off with Stephanie. So I guess they're teasing that potential women's world title match. But Stephanie is never on the show anyways doing anything meaningful. So I mean, who cares at this point? We then move on. What happened after this? I think it was Sheamus and JD McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? They had a match. Nobody cares about this. I like Sheamus, but Sheamus is what, in his late 40s at this point? He might be 50, and he's fighting against JD McDonald's, who is a mid-card, undercard jobber? Why are we watching this? It's dang near 10 p.m. Eastern time when this match is taking place, I believe, because I'm looking at the highlights on Twitter of it, and I'm like, dude, this just happened a little bit ago as I'm making this review. This is a disaster class. Are you kidding me? We're staying up for 2 straight hours to watch Sheamus versus JD
Oh God, bro, I stopped watching that.
McDonald's. Unbelievable, man. I don't care who won this match. I don't know who won this match. I'm going to assume that Sheamus won, and nobody cares even if he lost anyways. It's over at this point. Every single match of his is the same thing. He acts upset, he acts mad, he says, hit me, and then bro kicks the person and wins. So what? Let's move on. We then had a backstage segment where Adam Pearce announces we're going to get Maxine Dupree versus Becky Lynch for the 3rd or 4th time. Dude, it's just...
I ain't even know this happened, man.
Rematches! Everything is a rematch. If you don't think this company is lazy and doesn't care about you, then that's just, you're just being delusional at this point. Everything is a rematch because they can't think of new or engaging or exciting stories, and Triple H cannot build stars because he sucks at his job. It's as simple as that. If this company does not care, why should we? Thank you. Let's move on. And then we ended off the show with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss retaining the Women's Tag Team Championships against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. I didn't watch the
I didn't even know why. No, I didn't know they were gonna happen.
match because I don't care. And quite frankly, if we're being honest, after the match, the Kabuki Warriors came out and beat up everybody in the ring except for Bayley. They kind of let her, I guess, chill out and not do anything, I guess, because of her ties with, back in the day with the, the damage control, you know what I'm saying? So I guess they let her off the hook. But in all seriousness, this show was a disaster, and I'm not letting it off the hook. It gets a 0 out of 10. No one cares about this garbage. There's no star power, there's no effort, there's no creativity, there's no new or engaging storylines, and there's absolutely zero interest in anything that's happening on these shows, and that is all the fault of Triple Fraud and the creative team for making these shows this bad and unwatchable. It's disrespectful to the fans, it's disrespectful to all of us who have watched wrestling in its great moments and its bad moments, and now it's in its worst stage, and it is what it is, man. You would think that there'd be some type of sense of urgency to get out of this position, but clearly Triple H doesn't care, the booking team doesn't care, and the creative team is giving you the same thing over and over again, despite record low, viewership ratings, and despite the ticket sales going down. They don't care, and neither should we. It's time to understand and accept the fact that Triple H and WWE are complete and utter trash. Thank you guys for watching. Have a phenomenal day. Peace out, and
Yeah, man, not lying. Y'all see this shit? But anyway, this man be speaking fast, like usual, twin. Like, this shit getting, I don't know how that shit gonna be by 2028, twin. But y'all niggas, goddamn, subscribe. Shout out to my dog Cjax, twin.